ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
24 yards and a touchdown, one of the lone bright spots for the Jets 1 week ago. 2nd and 5 after the penalty and the incompletion. Handoff. Curtis Martin and a flag down. Martin hit by Sept and Trailer, the combination for Miami, limiting him to a 1-yard gain. And a sloppy start here in the first quarter.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That is the veteran Pete Kendall, the starting left guard, called on the hold for Miami. Limited Denver to 10 points last week. Big reason why up front, including Keith Trailer. Great free agent pickup for them so far. Channing Crowder, the rookie, with a bunch of veterans, part of that linebacking crew. And in the secondary, 3 new starters. Here's the constant. Sam Madison, the 4-time Pro Bowler, and a lockdown corner. So already a strange start to this one. 2nd and 15 for the Jets. Tight end Baker in motion. Handoff. Martin, nowhere to run. Taylor sniffed it out. No gain for Martin.
Jason Taylor making plays, and if you take a look at what the Jets want to do in this game today, our eye on the New York Jets say that they must come out and dominate on both the offense and defensive line. Of course, they're going to have to avoid the turnovers, already potential disaster in this game today. And then they have to have the early success, which will equal greater confidence, because there's no doubt their confidence is shaken from that game 1 week ago, Ian.
A lot of question marks swirling around Pennington and the Jets this week after the 27-7 loss in Kansas City. On 3rd down. Shotgun formation. Pennington throws, and it's broken up. Flags down. Quebec with Lance Schulters. The 8th-year veteran. That's Hofstra against Hofstra in the wide receiver secondary collision. And a late flag on that play.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. Penalizes the spot of the foul. And 1st down.
Schulters, he's forced to go through the receiver on this play. Wayne Crepet does a good job of turning his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, showing the quarterback both numbers. That's just presenting a much bigger target. You can see there is slight contact before the ball arrives.
And a sarcastic groan when they were able to handle the snap in the shotgun formation from these Jet fans. On 1st down. Bootleg, Pennington, airing it out. Wide open, Justin McCarron. A lot of air underneath that ball. It took a while to get there, but they complete the pass into Miami territory for 37 yards.
Give McCarron credit for staying with the play. That ball just hung up in the air for quite some time. He knew he was going to get hit, and Pennington just lobs this ball up and could have thrown the ball, I think, much better to the receiver. He also had his tight end coming over the middle wide open. It's actually 87, Lavernius Coles. But look at this ball just hang up on McCarron. He's forced to wait on it prior to taking the hit from the free safety.
In addition, illegal contact called on the defense. That was turned down, and the Jets will have it a 1st and 10 at the Miami 32-yard line. Want to welcome those of you who have watched Carolina knock off New England. Early going here. No score. Jets in Miami. 12:45 to go. First quarter. Pennington under some heat. Shifts around to the other side, and Pennington's got some open running room. Angles out of bounds after the 1st down run. So an inauspicious start to the drive for the Jets. They picked it up as Sept chased down Pennington. And a 12-yard scramble for the Jets QB.
Yeah, and right now they're showing the poise that Herman Edwards wants to see from his football team, overcoming the early adversity, the potential fumbles early on, and the penalties, and still able to sustain the drive. And that's where Chad Pennington really has to show the leadership, making good decisions on that previous play.
Gerald Soule set up as a wide receiver, now in motion. On 1st down, Pennington, handoff, Curtis Martin through the gut. And Martin picks up 6. Want to welcome those of you who just witnessed Tennessee's win over Baltimore. How about the Titans getting a W and Baltimore dropping to 0-2. 2nd and 4 for the Jets with 11:57 to go in this first quarter. And the Jets inside Miami's 15-yard line, opening drive of the day.
And Nick Saban is concerned because he wanted his defensive line to come out and control the tempo of this game also.
On a 2nd and 4, crowding the line, Miami. Pennington, handoff. Martin's got a hole. And he's got a first down inside the 10, a 5-yard gain. Strong block on that right side from Adrian Jones. And a new set of downs for the Jets to work with.
And this is what the Jets were not able to do, is hammer the ball off tackle, particularly on the right side behind Jones and Brandon Moore. But now they're starting to get some running room. Mike Heimerdinger told me, he says, we have not gotten away from the running game. In fact, he kept the running game that they had that worked so well a year ago, kept it intact, and really tried to combine it with his offensive scheme that he brought here from Tennessee.
1st and goal from the 9 for the Jets. Looking to get on the board first. Handoff. Martin. And tripped up. Jason Taylor sliding over to make the play. Gain of a yard, yard and a half for Curtis Martin. This is a running game that never got going last week because Kansas City took the early lead. Jets were forced to get away from the balance that made them successful from a year ago.
And Kevin Moreeeee, the center on that offensive line, who's very much the leader, told us that, hey, the 5 guys on the offensive line, we hold the key to correcting what happened last week. Felt like if they could dominate the line of scrimmage in the running game, they could win this game today.
Moreeeee called it the worst game he has played in his last 10 years in the NFL. 2nd and goal. Keep it on the ground. Martin. And gets a yard, yard and a half. Zach Thomas cut him down low, so the Jets electing to stay on the ground inside the 10, and now they face a 3rd and goal.
How about Zach Thomas playing that middle linebacker position, coming up, slashing in at Curtis Martin. Curtis wanted to get the cutback on Zach, but Zach was able to take his legs out. We're going to see a tremendous battle in the middle part of that line with Kevin Moreeeee going against Keith Traylor and Zach Thomas backing him up.
Traylor in week 1 freed up Thomas to do the things he does best. Sideline to sideline. The last week, Wayne Quebec, 3rd receiver. On a 3rd and goal, Pennington, timing pattern, up in the air, caught by Coles. Touchdown, Jets.
Lavernius Coles is working against Travis Daniels. It's a matchup they think they can win. And Coles, this is just a perfect throw by Chad Pennington. And excellent hands and concentration after a couple of drops, potential touchdown passes last week. Coles has worked extra hard this week to be able to come out and make plays like that.
Mike Nugent, the rookie from Ohio State, the extra point. The Jets needed a jolt of confidence early, something they talked about throughout the week. They've gotten it. A 7-yard touchdown reception for Lavernius Coles. Pennington able to make the connection.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Major League Baseball now airing on Orbit ESPN.
Fragments of memory.
My son is a very dangerous man.
Slivers of madness.
All of these men have something in common, a life different from his own.
You'll never know
I saw the man who did this.
how closely connected we are
What did you tell the police about me?
to our dark side.
His eyes, they're unmistakable.
Hello, Mother.
Angelina Jolie, Ethan Hawke. Taking Lives, now showing exclusively on TV Max.
Conducting electromagnet.
Got the latest phone?
GPS with mapping software. Chip calculator. Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Then get the latest films via mobile SMS on TV Max, your home movie theater.
iPhone does all that.
Last week, the Jets opened their season by allowing a three-play, 75-yard touchdown drive by Kansas City. This week, a different story as the Jets march down the field and put 7 on the board. Nugent on the kick to Wes Welker. Short kick, and he's got some room towards the sideline. Turns the corner and comes up just shy of the 40-yard line. Excellent field position as he got chased down by Kerry Rhodes on a 20-yard return. We'll see Miami on offense for the first time today with the Jets leading it 7-0 here on CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
توجه الأضواء الجديدة على الدوري الهولندي. انضموا إلى أحمد شوبير وهو يستعرض مع أبرز المحللين والضيوف آخر الأخبار والنتائج والمراكز وأهم اللقطات من الدوري الهولندي. الدوري الهولندي في أسبوع يبث حاليا كل ثلاثاء على الرياضية.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Volkswagen, on the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
On a 1st and 10 from the 39, Gus Frerotte throwing a low throw caught by Randy McMichael. And McMichael out near first down yardage, a gain of 9, with a combination of Coleman and Barton bringing him down. Gus Frerotte looked very comfortable in this offense 1 week ago, that win over Denver, and he should. He knows this offense well, spent 2 years in it as a backup in Minnesota. Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, brought the offense with him from the Vikings.
He says it's the best situation he's been in as a starter. He knows the offense and has a wealth of talent around him.
A lot of weapons for this Miami offense. You just saw one of them, Randy McMichael. This is a 2nd and 1 for the Dolphins. Ronnie Brown in the backfield, the rookie from Auburn, able to bounce off of contact and gets into Jets territory. Ty Law missed initially on Brown. It's a 7-yard gain. Offensive line for Miami. One of the matchups we're watching, Vernon Carey, 2nd year out of Miami, matched up with Sean Ellis on the Jets defensive line. Backs and receivers, Marty Booker coming off his best game as a Dolphin last week. 5 catches, 104 yards, including a 60-yard touchdown. 1st and 10 for Miami, a double tight end set at the Jets 45. Motion man is Diamond. Frerotte, fake the handoff. Frerotte, touch pass on a cross by McMichael. And 3 successful plays for Miami on offense. That's an 11-yard gain. Law will be given credit for the tackle. Defensively for the Jets, John Abraham is back in the starting lineup, participated in 34 plays last week. Linebacker Jonathan Vilma on the sidelines last week, an altercation with James Reed. We'll talk more about that later on. And we'll see some shifting at that safety spot with Kerry Rhodes and Oliver Celestin rotating in and out. Miami moving the ball well. Handoff to Ronnie Brown. Brown stumbles forward for a pickup of 3 on 1st down.
No, the Dolphins have to come out and execute, doing that so far with a good mix of run and pass. That's what Nick Saban's want. He wants balance on the offense. Then they have to disguise their intent on offense with a lot of shifts and motions. It really hurt the Jets defense 1 week ago in Kansas City. And then on defense, they have to execute their blitz pressures on Chad Pennington. Pennington really proved that he can handle the blitz on their previous possession.
Call it a 2nd and 7 for Miami. A little bit of misdirection, and here comes Chris Chambers. Chambers out near the 1st down line with Victor Hobson making the play. Very close, depending upon the spot. We saw some of Nick Saban's bag of tricks a week ago, and we see it early on.
Yeah, and Chambers very adept at running the reverse. Had a 60-plus yard run last week. And here you see him here. It's just excellent blocking out on the edge. And that's where the Jets defense has to improve when it comes to stopping the run game. Out on the perimeter in the 8 and 9 hole.
Give him a first down after the 8-yard run. Miami shredding this Jets defense so far. Throw to the sideline, caught by Chambers. And another pickup of 9 yards in the passing game. Basically anything Miami's done so far has worked.
They're picking up yards by the chunks. Look how much room is given to Chambers here. Cornerback not even in the picture on this play. And what did they tell us when we met with them? Hey, we're going to simplify everything. They felt like they were overthinking last week and really could not execute. So this week they were supposed to really try to pare down everything they were doing on defense so that they can come out and make more plays on defense.
Well, it's been pretty simple so far. Miami's just moving the ball with ease. 2nd and 1. Farrat's been perfect thus far. Throwing it deep and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Victor Hobson applying that pressure on Farrat. Gave him a little stick. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Dolphins would be more wise to go elsewhere with that double move. Don't try it on Ty Law. He's the veteran. Don't know if you're going to be able to hit Pater working against Ty Law with a double move by the receiver.
Miami operating in the red zone, facing a 3rd and 1 with Brown and Sammy Morris in there in the backfield. 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Jets up 7-0. Quick throw, looking for the first down yardage. He's got it. Chris Chambers let him catch and create. And this drive remains alive for Miami. A pickup of 6 as Abraham makes the stop.
Yeah, they just flip it out, and that Ty Law's coming up trying to make a tackle. He slipped. But right now, the Dolphins, they are executing. They're running their plays. They have a good mixture of run and pass with Ronnie Brown. 4 for 5 is Gus Farrat on this drive. So he's doing a good job of running this offense that you talk about. He knows it very well.
9th play of the drive. This is a 1st and goal from the 9. On the draw play, Brown swarming Jets defense. It'll be a loss. Jonathan Vilma leading that charge. First man there to greet Brown. It's a loss of 2.
It was good recognition on the play by Jonathan Vilma. He just hit the gap, saw the flow of the offensive line, and got penetration into the backfield of the Miami Dolphins where he made the play. Now you're looking at a 2nd down play here in the red zone. Nick Saban talked about a mixture of run and pass. They already had one pass play down here. They try to run it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get a pick play on the outside with one of the wide receivers.
A 3-receiver set with Wes Welker in there on a 2nd and goal. Farrat, deep drop, throwing, almost intercepted. Eric Coleman had a chance at it as Chambers was the intended target. It's 3rd and goal, Miami.
Yeah, Chambers working over on the right side with the wide receiver. They did open up, try to pick and rub off the cornerback, but Coleman was there, the safety, in the middle of the field. See him start on the outside, then try to slant it underneath the safety, but Coleman kept excellent upfield position where he can make a play on the ball. And if you play the ball, you're not going to get a flag. They won't call pass interference, so it's excellent technique by Eric Coleman.
Crowd coming alive on a 3rd and goal for the Dolphins. Operating out of the gun, Farrat. Has the time, Farrat throwing. Brought in by McMichael and tackled inside the 5. Hobson and Coleman collaborate.
And the thing is, you had a lot of defenders for the Jets. As you see Ty Law and many other defenders jawing it with Randy McMichael, but you had Jets swarming to the ball, something they talked about working at with drills, everyone getting to the ball. Look at the velocity on this ball thrown by Farrat, but you see Ty Law coming into the picture, Victor Hobson, you see Coleman coming in, so several defenders getting to the play and able to make the tackle. You didn't see that last week in Kansas City.
Short field goal attempt for Olindo Mare. Had to stop, stutter, and missed it to the left. High snap from John Denny. Donnie Jones tried to place it down cleanly, and Nick Saban's team comes up empty. Olindo Mare, the Dolphins' all-time scoring leader. Take a look at the hesitation. And that cost him. 7-0 Jets.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
توجه الأضواء الجديدة على الدوري الهولندي. انضموا لأحمد شوبير وهو يستعرض مع أبرز المحللين والضيوف آخر الأخبار والنتائج والمراكز وأهم اللقطات من الدوري الهولندي. الدوري الهولندي في أسبوع يبث حاليا كل ثلاثاء على الرياضية.
خذ 3 فتيات عزيزات طائشات.
They were nice guys. So you're going to see them again? I doubt it. They're probably both dead by now.
ورجل مراهق في متوسط العمر.
Jolly Lovell, Lovell by name, Lovell by nature.
أخلطهم معا في إحدى ضواحي لندن الراقية.
Would it spin me round and round and round?
وتمتع بكوكتيل غني من الضحك. بيبز اند وود الاثنين 8 مساء بتوقيت الرياض على سوبر كوميدي.
Conducting electromagnet.
Got the latest phone?
GPS with mapping software. Chip calculator. Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Then get the latest films via mobile SMS on TV Max, your home movie theater.
iPhone does all that.
في كل سنة وفي كل موسم يحلم اللاعبون الشباب بالصعود إلى المستوى التالي. الطريق طويلة وشاقة ولكنها تبدأ هنا. كرة القدم الأمريكية للجامعات تبث كل أسبوع على أوربت ESPN.
Orlando Moreeeee, 82% career field goal accuracy, one of the best all time in that category, but a miss from 21 yards away after the high snap.
Well, he tried to hang in there with it. It was a bad snap. Really threw off the timing of the kick.
Jets offense back on the field with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Trying to establish the run with Curtis Martin. Has a lane, and Martin able to accelerate to the 35. Pete Kendall on that left side with a good block. A 14-yard gain for Curtis.
And how many times have we said, as goes Curtis Martin, as goes the Jets. He starts here, and watch him cut it back. And this is that kind of stretch run play brought here with Mike Heimerdinger, one of the things that he left. So they started off to the left side, but see, watch how he comes back. He presses the hole, and anytime you can get him to the second level, this offense is going to play well. They're going to do well in this game today.
20 carries, 57 yards last week for Martin. Off to a better start here today on 1st down. Martin caught in the backfield. Oh, Taylor read it beautifully and a loss of 1. Time for an NFL Today update. We head to New York. Greg Duncan.
Ian, thank you. In Green Bay, a Brett Favre touchdown pass got the Packers up, but back came Trent Dilfer. 1 yard to Steve Height. 7-7 Browns and the Packers. 3:43 to play in the first, guys.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. We saw Cleveland last week. Dilfer did some positive things on offense, but a couple of mistakes cost them.
And they will score on offense. I like what I saw in Cleveland's offense.
2nd and 11 now for the Jets. Down to 2:35 to play, first quarter. Handling the rush. Here's Pennington, unable to put it on the money to Crabette. And it's incomplete. There's so much talk this week, Solomon, about Chad Pennington and the arm strength. What have you seen?
Well, I see that, yeah, he can get it far, but watch the body motion. He has to put everything he has into it. A lot of energy exerted, but then he's lacking the accuracy down the field. And so a lot of NFL quarterbacks can launch it a long way, but how many can launch it with great accuracy? That's something that the coaches are working with Chad Pennington in terms of his accuracy, even on the short throws, as we saw in the misfire to Wayne Corbett on that play.
We've seen a couple of fluttered balls so far from Pennington. We'll continue to keep our eye on it. A 3rd and 11 rush coming. Pennington throws it to the perimeter and incomplete. Too high for Lavernius Combs. And the Jets forced to punt. Sam Madison having a chat with the field judge.
And this is just good coverage by Sam Madison. Look how aggressive he gets. Still comes up, gets his hands on Lavernius Coles, and then right in the hip pocket, he's playing the ball. And I thought on the previous throw to that side of the field to Coles lost it in the sun. But you could see Sam Madison really locked in on the ball. No place to go with the ball for Chad Pennington.
Australian Ben Graham has that unique spin on the ball as it comes off his foot. Wes Welker trying to circle, stripped up as a flag comes down. Rashad Washington made a big play as it looked like Welker was going to be able to turn that corner. A loss of 4 on the return, just a 36-yard punt. Let's see what the penalty marker is. Pointing in Miami's direction. We'll get official word from Ron Winter.
They're in the kick. Holding. Number 57 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So the hold is called against Miami. They will back it up. Jets off to the 7-0 lead on Miami. We're coming back.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Through the blinking lights of LA, on its dark and empty streets, another long night is waiting for Max.
Hey, come on, I'll take it. I got 5 stops to make.
But he doesn't know it will be the longest.
You killed him.
No, I shot him. Bullets in the fall killed him.
And most dangerous.
I'm not up for this.
What are you gonna do about it?
Of his life.
Slow down, shoot me!
Tom Cruise. Jamie Foxx. Collateral, now showing exclusively on TV Max. Order.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler. And by Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Dolphins take over a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line with Ronnie Brown in the backfield. Here's the toss to Brown. Unable to shed tacklers, David Barrett was the first man there for the Jets. It's a loss of 1 for Miami.
And Damon McIntosh, the left tackle, he was pulling on the play and allowed Barrett to just slash right in to come in for the tackle. He whiffed, never even blocked David Barrett.
This Miami offense averaged just 17.2 points per game last season. And even though they put no points on the board so far, you can see the potential is there for a much higher number this year.
No doubt. You can see they've adopted the intensity from their head coach, Nick Saban.
2nd and 11 for Rock. Looking to throw. Throwing. Incomplete. Green jerseys in the area as Marty Booker was the intended target. Kerry Rhodes came over to try to make a play on it. And David Barrett was there as well for New York.
And Rhodes got a good break on the ball from the safety position. This is a misfire. Ball goes high a bit on Gus Frerotte. But watch number 25 in position. Nearly came down with the intercepted. Great break on the ball. Just need better hands. It was actually David Barrett who broke up the potential interception by Rhodes.
Oliver Celestin now on the field as the 5th defensive back for the Jets. A 3-receiver set for Miami. On 3rd and 11, Frerotte out of a shotgun, throws as he was hit. And it's off target, incomplete. Abraham, the pressure.
For Abraham, he's the equalizer. You see him at the bottom of your screen. Look at the spin move he puts on McIntosh. Beats McIntosh, instant pressure on Gus Frerotte, who would have completed that pass. But John Abraham, he is a difference maker when he's able to play. Did not play much in last week's game, but really was fighting literally to get on the football field. 44
sacks in 58 career games in the NFL. Donnie Jones, a young punter. Left-footed punter. Justin Miller lets it bounce. An outstanding field position for the Jets. It was touched up on Miami's side of the field at the 48. That's just 32 yards on the punt. Jets will have a golden opportunity when we come back. They lead the Dolphins 7-0.
Lots of Wi-Fi.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
French League, now airing every Saturday on Al Riyadiyah.
Jets are 11-3 in their last 14 games against Miami, lead the all-time series with a mark of 40, 37-1. Excellent field position. 1st and 10 from the 48, and Pennington is sacked on a deep drop. The future Hall of Famer, Junior Seau, for a loss of 9.
We told you that the Dolphins would have to work on their blitz protection or getting in. See, he's going to come in. Curtis Martin is forced to pick up Junior Seau. And this is what failed this football team last week against Kansas City. The blitzing linebacker beating the halfback. Curtis Martin has to do a better job of standing up to the linebacker and protecting his quarterback. You must give Chad Pennington time to throw the ball. We told you they were going to come after him. After watching the film last week, you know they're going to do it even more.
Seau now making the adjustment to that Sam linebacker position. Flags down as Martin breaks that first tackle, trying to double back the other way. Martin able to get to the edge and forced out of bounds at the 49. It was Matt Roth who missed him initially in a 7-yard gain for Martin. Early penalty flag, though, thrown as Martin made that second cut. And we'll hear from veteran referee Ron Winter once again.
Offside. Defense. Number 98. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
And it was the rookie, Matt Roth, out of Iowa, called on that penalty. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer have all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Carolina getting the victory over New England earlier today. They'll have more on that. A lot of interesting storylines in week 2 of the NFL here on CBS. Final seconds of this first quarter. The give is to Martin, bangs his way into Miami territory. Zach Thomas first one there to get to him. A 4-yard gain for Martin. Line of scrimmage will be the 49.
Going back to the penalty on the rookie Matt Roth. You know, Nick Saban's on fire. What did he tell us? I don't like those discipline penalties, the one before the snap of the ball.
End of the first quarter, Jets lead at 7-0. The NFL on CBS.
I said, give me that. I said,
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
A shot in the dark. And he lost everything.
You can't stop loving your wife and your son. I can't compete.